third base, number 8, Alyssa DeBruder. Batting ninth. At second base, number 15, Ellie Broughton. And the flex player, the pitcher, number 5, Joelle Lamontagne. The Vikings are coached by Matt Gable, assisted by Vance Christensen and Riley Perriman. Our umpires for today's game, behind home plate is Mark Sandin, and on the bases is Charlie Johnson. Fans, if you please rise as we honor our neighbors to the north with the playing of O Canada. And now the stars from the corner. Let's play ball.
No, you don't have to manual over there, just the runs over there. Yeah. And then when you get to a new batter, just hit clear count, and that'll blank balls and strikes to 0.
Well, good afternoon and welcome out to the Valley City State University Softball Complex for another doubleheader of Viking softball here on VCSU Athletics YouTube. Vikings and the Dakota State University Trojans back for games 3 and 4 of their 4-game conference series this weekend in Valley City. VCSU took both games yesterday as they have now won 10 games in a row as Valley City State after sweeping that doubleheader yesterday against Dakota State University. We are just about ready to get underway. Game 1 starting a few minutes early here on a sunny Saturday afternoon from the VCSU softball complex. A very windy Saturday, though. Winds about 25 to 30 miles an hour, gusting up to 40 to 50, and that wind likely will have some effects on the games today as a very gusty wind moving across the field left to right. Anything right side will carry, anything left side will just die and hang up with that strong wind today. We'll get you to our lineup shortly, and we'll start with Dakota State University as they will bat first in the top half of the first inning. Hannah McFarland will lead off, center fielder for the Trojans, wearing number 23. Batting from the left side of the plate, she'll be followed by Mackenzie Sims, the shortstop, Rosie Phillip, the first base. Catching and hitting cleanup, Michelle Evdos. Batting fifth, the DP, Gabrielle Ortega-Alves. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Alexis Foster. First pitch from LaMontagne in the dirt, and hits the backstop, so a ball one. Batting seventh for the Trojans is their pitcher, Delaney Barrett. Batting eighth and playing third base, Hannah Fasher. And batting ninth, the left fielder, Allie Morrissey. And playing second base today and not hitting is Olivia Peterson. A pitch low and outside from Joelle. She falls behind in the count. 2 balls, no strikes to McFarland. Two-0 pitch on the way. Off speed. I believe that was high for ball 3, right? Yep. Again, Vikings won both games yesterday, 5-3 and 6-1. 6-1 in game 1 and then 5-3 in game 2. It is senior day today for Valley City State. Joelle LaMontagne, the pitcher, Sierra Crocker, the catcher, and Sage Forseth at first base. 3 Viking seniors that we recognize today. A grounder, 1 hopper back to LaMontagne. She fires it over to Forseth at first, and McFarland is retired on a 1-3 putout to open up the game. Mackenzie Sims, the shortstop, will step in. Number 24, batting from the right side of the plate. Sims, a senior from Santee, California. First pitch in the dirt for a ball. And 1-0 the count. A pitch taken outside for ball 2. A defensive lineup for the Vikings in left field, left to right, Kennedy Stone, Mackenzie Stone, and Marin Dartnell. At third, Alyssa DePorter, shortstop Ashlyn Deemert, second base Ellie Broughton, and first base Sage Forseth. That one fouled away by Sims. Battery today for the Vikings. Behind the plate, Sierra Crocker, and in the circle, Joelle LaMontagne. Two on the count to Mackenzie Sims as she awaits the pitch. That one's in the dirt, ball 3. Valley City State wearing all black uniforms today. White numbering and lettering, trimmed in red. Dakota State going dark blue pants and light blue tops and socks. 3-1 pitch from LaMontagne. In the dirt, ball 4, and Mackenzie Sims draws a 1-out walk. Stepping in for Dakota State, Rosie Phillip, playing first base, batting from the left side of the plate. She bats with 1 out and a runner on base. Mackenzie Sims over at first base after drawing a 1-out walk. Shows bunt and pulls back, taken outside for a ball. Aaron Skinner, head coach of this Trojan team, down the third base line, giving signs. And Phillip again shows bunt, again pulls back low, runner takes off, and sliding into second base with a stolen base is Mackenzie Sims. So Phillip showed bunt again, pulled back on a low pitch. And Mackenzie Sims just took off for second base this time and picked up a stolen base. So Matt Gable, head coach of the Vikings, coming out for a quick conference in the circle. Talk a little bit with his pitcher and his infield. LaMontagne, a really strong start yesterday, did not walk a batter in 5 innings. And struggling to find the zone a bit here early in this one. And we're not going to belabor the point too much, but that win today, that is going to change some things. Especially a crossed win like this. you know, a pitcher, if that throws your stride off just a little bit as you're moving towards the plate, tough to adjust your delivery. Fielders, balls in the air are going to be a challenge. Pop flies in the infield are definitely going to drift. So we'll see how much that wind affects today's games. (2-0) the count. LaMontagne looks to the dugout for the pitch call. And the 2-0 delivery. This one in for a strike at the knees. Phillip again showed bunt and pulled back. 2-1 the count now. Ground ball, one hopper to DePorter over at third, fires over to Forseth, stretches off the bag. It pulled her off, but I believe she got her foot back, and she did. So Phillip is retired 5-3 on the putout, second out of the inning. Nice play there by DePorter, hard to one hopper right at her. Throws a little bit up the first base line, but good stretch by Forseth, and then getting her toe back on the bag. I believe Aaron Skinner just asking them to double check, confer, make sure she had her foot on the bag. Umpires for today's game: behind the plate, Mark Sandman, and on the bases, Charlie Johnson. Cleanup hitter for Dakota State steps in, the catcher, Michelle Evdos. Evdos takes the first pitch outside for ball one. That one's low and inside, ball two. 2-0 the count. Valley City State won game one yesterday, 6-1. Pair of home runs in that contest by Marin Dartnell and Logan Gronberg. LaMontagne gets that one across at the belt for a strike, 2-1 the count. And the Vikings won game two, 5-3. Off the plate, 3-1. Both teams with some missed opportunities in the second game to plate more runs. Vikings have now won 10 games in a row. Last 10 games, all conference games. Ground ball up through the middle. Evdos with a single into Stone in center. Throw coming home. They'll let it go through, but scoring easily from second base is Sims, and then Evdos moves up on the throw. So an RBI single for Michelle Evdos, and Dakota State has taken an early 1-0 lead. Evdos with the single gets an RBI, and then moving up to second on the throw home. Forseth was in position to cut that one and decided to let it go through to home plate. Throw was not in time, and then Evdos alertly moved up once that throw went through the cut. Gabriel Ortega Alves bats, takes a first pitch for a called strike. Ortega Alves, the designated player today. This pitch outside gets away from Crocker, and that will allow Evdos to move up. Probably a pass ball there on Sierra Crocker. Again, that's one of those that I'd be curious to stand in there and see how much this wind is going to move pitches. Even if it's 1 or 2 inches, that's an adjustment the catcher has to make with that crosswind. 1-1 pitch on the way, swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Evdos at third. LaMontagne trying to get out of this inning with just 1 run scoring. 1-2 the count to Ortega Alves. And the pitch popped up in the air out of play over the backstop, and we'll do the 1-2 again. Pitch taken high, ball 2. Two outside. Ball 3. Full count is now full to Ortega Alves with Evdos at third. Dakota State scored first in the second game yesterday as well, plating 1 run in the top of the first inning. 3-2 delivery, checks her swing, pitches outside, ball 4. And Ortega Alves reaches with a 2-out walk after falling behind 1-2 in the count. She works a walk. And runners on the corners for Alexis Foster, the right fielder. After Dakota State scored first yesterday in Game 2, the Vikings answered right back with 4 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Dakota State, though, threatening for more than 1 here in the top half of the first. Already leading 1-0, runners at the corners. Swing and a miss, runner takes off, throw goes through, and the tag. And Diemert kind of stumbled into the runner, Ortega Alves, but she is out on the play, caught stealing. That throw went right back through the circle, and LaMontagne looked like she was going to cut it, and then kind of last second pulled her glove away. And a nice job by Diemert to glove that one in the dirt near second base. Then her stumbling momentum kind of carried her right into Ortega Alves. Bit of a collision there, but the tag was made. Ortega Alves is out. Third out of the inning comes on the base paths, but not before the Trojans score 1 run on 1 hit. There were no Viking errors and 1 runner left on base. After half an inning, it's Dakota State 1, Vikings coming to bat.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Bottom of the first inning, Valley City State University coming to bat against Dakota State, trailing 1-0 after the Trojans pushed across a run in the first inning. RBI single from Michelle Evdos has given the Trojans a 1-0 lead. Ashlyn Diemert takes the first pitch for a ball. Batting lineup today for the Vikings. Diemert leading off and playing shortstop. At batting second and playing left field, it's Kennedy Stone. That pitch also taken low, ball 2. Batting third and catching, Sierra Crocker. Batting cleanup and playing first base, Sage Forseth. Batting fifth, the DP, Logan Gronberg. Batting sixth in center field, Mackenzie Stone. Batting seventh in right field, Marin Dartnell. That pitch across for a called strike, and the count runs 2-1. Batting eighth for the Vikings, Alyssa DePorter, and playing third base. And batting ninth, playing second base, Ellie Broughton. The batting lineup here for Valley City State in Game 1. 2-1 pitch on the way, lifted out in the air towards deep center field. Going back is McFarland. Leadoff home run, Ashlyn Diemert. Ashlyn Diemert takes a 2-1 pitch to dead center field. And the Vikings, just like that, 4 pitches into the inning, have tied this game up 1-1. So Ashlyn Diemert wasting no time getting the Vikings right back on the board. As just like yesterday, they have answered a first-run inning for Dakota State with one of their own. First home run of the season for Ashlyn Diemert. As Valley City State ties this game up 1-1. Brings up Kennedy Stone, left fielder. Stone, 2 for 6 at the plate in yesterday's doubleheader. Had a double, drove in a pair of runs. Takes the first pitch, low for a ball. Defensive lineup for Dakota State. Battery today behind the plate is Michelle Evdos, and in the circle, getting the start again, Delaney Barrett. Barrett started Game 1 yesterday as well for Dakota State. This pitch is driven out towards deep center field. Going back again, McFarland. Back-to-back home runs, Valley City State. Kennedy Stone takes this one to deep center. And Valley City State, 2 batters in, has a 2-1 lead. Well, Stone and Diemert jumping on those pitches. They haven't been overly high batted balls, but they have been hard and just the right height to clear that center field fence over McFarland. So the Vikings start the game with back-to-back home runs, Ashlyn Diemert, Kennedy Stone. And just like that, the Vikings are ahead 2-1. Sierra Crocker, the Viking catcher, steps in. Crocker yesterday struggled at the plate, went 1 for 7 with a run scored and an RBI. Drills this one out towards right center field. That's going to go all the way to the gap. One hops against the fence. Crocker rounding first, heading for second. Here is the throw in, not in time. Crocker with a stand-up double. And Valley City State's first 3 batters have gone home run, double. And I believe we're going to have a quick pitching change here by Dakota State. Head coach Aaron Skinner. 3 batters in, the Vikings have jumped on Delaney Barrett. Solo home run Ashlyn Diemert. Solo home run Kennedy Stone. Stand-up double Sierra Crocker. So we'll take a short break, come back with your pitching change. You're watching Viking Softball on VCSU Athletics YouTube.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. We've already given out more than $75,000 to students in North Dakota this year. Let us help you become the next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Pitching change for Dakota State University. Now in the game, Jada Brown, a freshman. Brown had a 4.05 ERA coming into this weekend through 19 innings. And she will step into a situation with Sierra Crocker at second and Sage Forseth at the plate. First pitch from Brown is outside for a ball. Throw down. Not in time. Sierra Crocker gets back. Crocker at second base with a double. 56th career double for Sierra Crocker. That ties the VCSU career record. So Crocker 1 more double away from holding that doubles record all by herself in Viking softball history. Again, 56 career doubles for Sierra Crocker, ties the Viking record. Also with 56, Joelle Aiello, former teammate of Sierra Crocker. Those two played together for a couple years. Two balls. 1 more ball, Cleveland. And count now runs 3-0. 3-0 the count. I believe that was what, an illegal pitch call, right? Yep. Against Jada Brown. And Forseth takes that one down for ball 4. So 4-pitch walk issued to Sage Forseth. And shaping up, chance for a huge inning for Valley City State here in the bottom of the first. Leading 2-1 after those solo home runs by Diemert and Stone. Now 2 more runners on with nobody out. And Logan Gronberg, a dangerous right-handed hitter, comes stepping to the plate. Gronberg hit a mammoth home run in yesterday's game 1. Takes this one in the hip. And she will reach on a hit by pitch. So bases are loaded for Mackenzie Stone, the Vikings center fielder. Crocker reached on a double, Forseth with a walk, and now Gronberg with a hit by pitch. As the bases loaded for VCSU. Pitch from Brown is low. Ball one. And the 1-0 delivery. Off speed, taken for a called strike on the inside corner. Count now 1-1. Stone awaits the delivery. This one grounded back up the middle, booted by the shortstop, but flips over to second base, and a play will not be made. Hard shot. I would say a hit on that one. Mackenzie Stone, hard shot right back up the middle. Shortstop Sims kind of went to her knees to her left. It ticked off her glove, and everyone will be safe. So an infield single for Mackenzie Stone. Also an RBI is coming in to score is Crocker. Vikings up their lead to 3-1. Coming to the plate for the Vikings will be the right fielder, Marin Dartnell. Dartnell had herself a huge day yesterday. Went 4 for 6 at the plate, a double, a home run, and 3 RBIs. And she bats here in an RBI situation with the bases full. Forseth at third, Gronberg at second, Mackenzie Stone at first. And a big opportunity for Dartnell to break this game wide open in the bottom of the first inning. Fouls the first pitch back, healthy cut there by Dartnell. Waiting on deck, dangerous Alyssa Porter. This Viking lineup leading the conference in many offensive categories. 0-1 pitch, tried to check her swing, went too far. And actually, I'm going to check, and they say yes, she did. So Dartnell falls behind 0-2. Dartnell awaits the 0-2 pitch from Brown. This one swing and a miss, and Dartnell is retired on strikes. First down of the inning for Jada Brown. It's a big one. A bases loaded strikeout. Alyssa Porter steps in for the Vikings. Porter yesterday just 1 for 6 at the plate. Scored a run, drove in one. First pitch is low for a ball. Jada Brown delivers the 1-0. Catches a corner for a called strike. And count now even 1-1. As we mentioned, this Viking team leading the conference in batting average. .316 the Vikings are hitting. DePorter fouls this one away out of play. They also lead in RBIs, 168 RBIs, on base percentage, .383, slugging, .450. Pitch taken, ball 2. Vikings have scored 183 runs this year. Also leads the conference, 38 runs more than the next team, Dickinson State. Soft line drive, and we'll have a double play. So soft line drive caught by Sims at shortstop, and then she's able to double off Gronberg on an awkward play out near second base. Gronberg kind of caught in no man's land, and then both went to the ground. The ball rolled out of Sims's glove on the tag, but then she got it right back and tagged Gronberg. So a double play for Dakota State to get out of that bases loaded jam. Vikings had 3 runs in, bases loaded with nobody out, and Dakota State able to work out of it with a strikeout and a line-out double play. After 1 inning, though, it's Vikings 3, Trojans 1. You're watching Viking softball. Top of the second inning, Valley City State leading 3-1. Eventful first inning on both sides. Dakota State scoring 1 run in the first, and the Vikings getting 3 runs back in the bottom of the first inning. Solo home runs by Ashlyn Deemer and Kennedy Stone back-to-back to lead off that inning for VCSU. And then RBI single for Mackenzie Stone, plate of the third run of the inning for the Vikings. As they get that lead right back, 3-1. Top of the second inning, Joelle LaMontagne out for her second inning of work. Swing and a miss as she faces Alexis Foster. Foster was at the plate to end the first inning as Ortega Alves was thrown out trying to steal second base. So Foster back at the plate here to start the second inning. Takes that pitch high for ball 1. LaMontagne started game 1 yesterday in the circle for VCSU as well. Went 5 innings, gave up 5 hits and a run, struck out 4 and picked up the win. That pitch fouled away by Foster. Count now 1-2. Both Viking starters went 5 innings yesterday. LaMontagne in game 1, Xander in game 2. Ground ball fouled on the third base line. Then the Vikings turned to Logan Gronberg in both games for the final 2 innings, as she picked up a pair of saves for VCSU. One-two pitch on the way to Foster. Takes that one at the letters, high for ball 2. Foster fouls it 2-2 away. LaMontagne delivers the 2-2 swing and a miss, and Foster's down on strikes. First out of the inning, first strikeout of the game for Joelle LaMontagne. Elsewhere in the conference yesterday, Dickinson State beat Waldorf 5-1 and 13-11, so Blue Hawks swept that doubleheader. And Bellevue swept a pair of close games against Mayville, 1-0 and 2-1. Some pitchers' duels in that Mayville-Bellevue series. Ground ball right side, Broughton fields and flips over to Forsyth and Delaney Barrett. Correction, Jada Brown retired 4-3 on the putout. So Jada Brown retired on the ground out to second base, brings up Hannah Fazier, getting the start at third base today for Dakota State. Fouls the first pitch away. So again, Bellevue swept Mayville yesterday, 1-0 and 2-1. Bellevue maintains their lead in the conference standings. They are now 10-1 in conference play. That pitch to Fazier high. Ball 1, 1-1 the count. 1-1 the count. Valley City State now 10-3 in conference play. And Dickinson State 9-5, the top 3 teams. This one's driven out towards right field. Going back is Dartnell, measuring it and makes the grab. Nice play there by Marin Dartnell with that strong wind blowing out to the right field corner. Got herself back right away and stayed on it with that ball. And the Trojans are retired 1-2-3 in the top half of the second inning. We head to the bottom. Vikings lead 3-1. Bottom of the second inning, Valley City State taking on Dakota State University. Vikings leading 3-1 as they bat here in the bottom of the second inning, where we've lost our video connection, so we'll work on getting that back up and running. But for now, we'll bring you audio coverage here of Viking softball. Leading off the inning for the Vikings is Ellie Broughton, number 9 hitter, 9-1-2, scheduled to bat in this inning for VCSU. Facing Jada Brown, second pitcher of the game for Dakota State. Delaney Barrett started, and then was lifted 3 batters in after the Vikings went home run double. 3-0 pitch, taken for a called strike. And count now 3-1. This one's driven out towards the right center gap. That'll drop in for a hit and gets by the center fielder. Rounding first and heading for second is Broughton. Head first slide in time. It'll be a double for Ellie Broughton. So a leadoff double for Broughton, and the Vikings have base runner on to start the bottom of the second inning. Ashlyn Diemert steps in, top of the order for VCSU. Diemert homered on the 4th pitch of the game. Straightaway center field. First pitch at the knees, called strike, and 0-1 the count. This one is high at the letters, 1-1. Vikings leading 3-1, bottom of the second inning. Foul down the first base line. It'll roll to the corner out of play. And Foster will give chase and fire that one back in. Ellie Broughton at second after a leadoff double to the right center gap to open this inning. First time through the order, Vikings have 5 hits. So 5 out of the 9 players reached on hits for VCSU. Pitch at the letters, fouled straight back by Diemert. 1-2 delivery from Brown. Fouled down the first base line again. Diemert hanging tough, fouling off some 2-strike pitches. Brown delivers the 1-2. Ground ball right back up the middle. Gloved by the shortstop near second base. Throw over, gets away from the first baseman. Broughton will come around and score. Diemert on her way to third. Here comes the throw. He gets past the third baseman, and now Diemert will score, running the bases. So Ashlyn Diemert all the way around on a pair of errors by Dakota State. So initially she would reach on the wild throw by the shortstop. So E6 to reach and move to third. And then coming all the way around and scoring after that throw from the first baseman, Phillip, was wide of third. So E6 and E3, and Ashlyn Diemert, what do you call that, a Little League home run? So 2 runs will score on the play. Ellie Broughton coming in to score from second as that throw got away from the first baseman, and then Diemert coming all the way around, and it's 5-1, Vikings with the lead. I believe the third baseman, Fazier, shaken up on that play. I think her glove hand, hit Diemert as Diemert was coming into third. The wild throw, kind of took her hand into Diemert. And so the Viking trainer, Kathleen Goulet, looking at her hand. Well, 5 runs for VCSU. And just 3 outs so far. No outs in this inning, 2 runs already in. Very eventful first couple of innings. Looks like we will have a potential defensive change. Umpire coming over to talk to the VCSU bench. So it looks like Fazier will come out of the game. So it looks like the changes, number 22, Jordan Jeffries, will come into play third base. So Anna Fazier exits with looks to be an apparent hand injury. Still being looked at there in the Dakota State dugout. Pitch from Brown to Kennedy Stone is high for a ball. So again, Jordan Jeffries in. Jeffries did make a start in game 1 yesterday at third base. Stone fouls that one away, 1-1 the count. Kennedy Stone, solo home run in her first at bat as she went back-to-back with Ashlyn Diemert. Gave the Vikings their first lead of the game at 2-1. It's now 5-1 Valley City State. Stone takes that one low, ball 2. Windy day here out at the VCSU softball complex. See the flag standing stiff out in center field. That one is outside, ball 3. Three-one pitch from Jada Brown. Taken outside, ball 4, Kennedy Stone. Draws a walk. 15th walk of the season. That leads the team. Sierra Crocker will step in for Valley City State. Doubled and scored in the first inning. Tied the VCSU career record with her 56th career double in that first inning. First pitch taken low and outside, ball 1. That one is low inside. 2-0 the count to Crocker. Crocker takes ball 3 high, 3-0 the count. Kennedy Stone at first with a walk. Ground ball right side. Phillip got her glove on it. Second baseman will get there in time. Not in time. And that probably should be a hit by Sierra Crocker. First baseman was in a step from the bag, and that's a hard shot. So infield single for Sierra Crocker. Moves Kennedy Stone up to second. Softball, you're so close to the plate on the corners, especially if you're inside the bag. Any type of hard hit, really tough to give an error on those, especially one that causes you to move. Forseth drills this one out towards deep center field, tailing in the wind. It's over the center fielder's head. Forseth will stop at first. The runners had to check up to see if that one would be caught. And so everybody just moves up one base. And Sage Forseth, a hard hit single that went all the way to the wall in center field. Man, that one started towards the left center gap and just tailed with that wind. Ended up bouncing about dead center. And that tail really kind of fooled the center fielder McFarland. I guess you could say she kind of overran that one. So a single for Forseth loads the bases for Logan Gronberg. Gronberg in yesterday's doubleheader, 5 for 6. Had a home run. First at bat today. She was hit by a pitch. 1-0 is high, ball 2. Opportunity here for the Vikings to break this game wide open in the second inning. Nobody out, 2 runs already in, and bases loaded for one of their most dangerous hitters. Gronberg awaits the 2-0, called strike at the knees, 2-1 the count. Two-one pitch from Brown, and Gronberg fouls it. weakly on the third base line. Kennedy Stone at third, Sierra Crocker at second. Stone reached on a walk, Crocker an infield single, and Sage Forseth over at first with a single. Bases loaded to Gronberg, 2-2 pitch, fouled away. Two-two delivery from Brown. Gronberg grounds it right back up the middle. Shortstop gloves it, tags Forseth, throw over to first, in time, double play. Nicely done by Sims, the shortstop. So a 6-3 double play as both Gronberg and Forseth are retired. Run does score, though, on the play as Kennedy Stone comes in from third. Crocker moves up to third. No RBI, though. Scoring rule, grounding into a double play like that, you cannot get an RBI. Mackenzie Stone bats now. Crocker over at third base, 2 outs. Pitch inside, 1-1. Called strike at the belt. 1 ball, 2 strikes, the count. 2 outs. Dakota State again trying to get out of this inning. Out of a bases loaded jam. They worked out a one in the first inning. This one is lifted in the air to left field. That'll drop for a hit. RBI single for Mackenzie Stone. Gets by the left fielder. Stone will take second base. So it's a RBI single for Mackenzie Stone, and then she moves up to second on an error by the left fielder as she just let that one get past her to the fence. Seven to 1, Valley City State now leading by 6 runs, 4 runs in this inning. Marin Dartnell steps in. First pitch high for a ball. 1-0 the count. Dartnell struck out swinging in her first at bat. Mackenzie Stone now 2 for 2 today, pair of singles. Throw back to second base. Stone dives back in time. The count. Tamarin Dartnell, Viking freshman. Fouls this one over the backstop. 3 runs in the first inning for VCSU, 4 runs in the second, as they have opened up a 7-1 lead early. 2-1 pitch driven on a line out towards center field, but right at McFarland. And the Vikings are retired in the bottom of the second inning. A line out to center field, but not before they score 4 runs. There were 4 hits in the inning. I believe 3 errors. And 1 runner left on base after 2 innings complete. It's Vikings 7, Dakota State 1.
You live life on the move. While you determine what direction that may be, we're here to help along the way. So go. Go with values. Go with friends. Go with support. Go with convenience.
Top of the third inning, Valley City State leading Dakota State 7-1 here at the VCSU softball complex. A sunny but windy day in Valley City. Temperature, I believe, we're up to 56 degrees right now in Valley City. Foster swings through that one. She falls behind in the count 0-1 to Joelle Lamontagne, the Viking pitcher, out for a third inning. Slaps it towards third baseman DePorter, up with it quickly over to Forsyth, and Foster is retired. Correction, that was Allie Morrissey batting. My apologies. Morrissey out on the 5-3 put out. Back to the top of the order for Dakota State. Hannah McFarland steps in, the Dakota State center fielder. Last four batters set down in order by LaMontagne and the Viking defense. 0-1 pitch. Catches the outside corner for a called strike. It's 0-2. McFarland, a dangerous hitter for this Dakota State team. Leads the team with a .386 batting average coming into this weekend. Batting at that top of that Trojan lineup. Lifts this one foul and out of play over the Viking dugout. .0-2 the count to McFarland. Pitch is outside. 1-2. Dakota State scored one run in the top of the first inning. RBI single by Michelle Evdos. The Vikings answered right back with 3 runs in the bottom of the first. Home runs by Diemert and Kennedy Stone. 1-2 pitch taken just off the plate, ball 2. VCSU then broke the game open with 4 runs in the bottom of the second inning. Two. Fouled into the dirt. We'll do it again. Ground ball towards second base. Broughton tries to backhand it. It'll kick off her glove. Be an infield single for McFarland. Back up the middle. Broughton going hard towards second base. Had to try a backhand. Give McFarland a single on that one. As she reaches, brings up Mackenzie Sims, the shortstop. Sims drew a walk and eventually scored Dakota State's only run in the first inning. Also had a stolen base. Showing bunt. That one is called strike. Now 0-1 the count. McFarland, a threat to steal at first base. I believe she's up to 11 stolen bases on the season. 0-1 pitch. Called strike on the outside corner. Now 0-2. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first base. Not in time. Diving back safely is McFarland, but Sims retired on a strikeout. Second strikeout of the game for LaMontagne. And second out of the inning. Rosie Phillip will step in. Playing first base for Dakota State. Grounded out to third in her first at bat. This one lined right back at LaMontagne. Great reaction as she gloves it. And Phillip is retired on a line out right back at Joelle LaMontagne. So Trojans go down in the top of the third inning. No runs on 1 hit, no Viking errors, and 1 runner left on after 2.5. It's Vikings 7, Trojans 1. Bottom of the third inning, Valley City State coming to bat, leading 7-1. Pitching change for Dakota State. The starter for Dakota State, Delaney Barrett, back in the circle. Barrett faced the first 3 batters of the game, did not record an out. Jada Brown then worked those 2 innings, but Barrett now back out to start the third inning. She will face Alyssa DePorter. The Viking third baseman steps in. First pitch is a ball, 1-0 the count. DePorter grounds this one weakly to third. Coming in is Jeffries. Throw over in time. Jeffries to Phillip as DePorter is retired to open up the bottom of the third inning. Ellie Broughton steps in for the Vikings. Doubled and scored in the second inning. And that wind gusting in blew the visor off of Barrett. So we'll have time and reset. As we've mentioned, winds today around 30 miles an hour steady. Gusts have been up to 40 to 45, potentially 50, they say. Valley City in a red flag warning, meaning high gusty winds, dry conditions, fire danger. Wind advisory, that one is fouled away. Temperature's good though, 56 degrees right now and sunny. With that wind, the feels like temp at 50. Broughton awaits the 0-1. Swing and a miss, 0-2. Top of the order, Ashlyn Deemer due up next for the Vikings. Oh, 0-2 pitch, grounded foul behind home plate. Vikings won the first 2 games of the series yesterday, 6-1 and 5-3. VCSU has now won 10 games in a row. Broughton swings through that one, and Barrett has her first strikeout of the game as Broughton heads back to the dugout. 2 outs in the inning. Top of the order now, Ashlyn Deemert steps in. Hit a leadoff home run in the bottom of the first inning. Straightaway center field. In her second at bat, got what some would call a Little League home run. Reached on a throwing error by the shortstop. Moved all the way to third as it got away from the first baseman, and then came in to score when the throw to third was wild. Falls behind in the count here, 0-1. Barrett delivers. Swing and a miss. Nice low pitch at the knees. Deemert swings through it, 0-2 now. Ground ball, shortstop. Coming in is Sims, a couple steps. Throw over low, but gloved nicely by Phillip. And the Vikings are retired 1-2-3 in the bottom of the third inning. Deemert retired on a 6-3 putout. No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on. After 3 innings, it's Vikings 7, Dakota State 1.
Hey college students, are you looking for a part-time job that works around your schedule, pays well, and gives you free money for college every year? McDonald's offers all of it. We can work around your schedule, and we give $2,500 scholarships to everyone who works for 3 months and averages 15 hours per week. That's 2 full shifts a week or 3 shifts of 5 hours. It's that easy. We've already given out more than $75,000 to students in North Dakota this year. Let us help you become the next scholarship recipient. Come join our team. Text ND29 to 38000 to apply today.
Leading off the top of the 4th inning for the Trojans, the catcher number 42, Michelle Evans.
Top of the 4th inning, Dakota State batting, trailing 7-1 against Valley City State. Michelle Evdos, the catcher, will lead off the inning for the Trojans, singled in her first at bat of the game. Takes the first pitch from Joelle LaMontagne on the outside corner, called strike. Ground ball towards third to Porter, bobbles it, recovers, throw over in time, and Evdos is retired, 5-3 on the putout. Good concentration there by DePorter. Did not field it cleanly, but stuck with it, picked it up, and fired a strike to Forsyth for the out. Gabriel Ortega-Alves, the designated player, steps in. Walked in the first inning and then was thrown out trying to steal second base. Called strike from LaMontagne. Vikings leading 7-1, top of the fourth inning. Fouled straight back off the netting. Ortega-Alves takes that one off the plate. And 1-2 the count. This one from LaMontagne is high at the letters, ball 2. Ortega-Alves, freshman from San Diego, California. Out of Steel Canyon High School. Grounds that one foul, and will do the 2-2 again. Mostly a young roster here for Dakota State. Kind of a mix. They've got a really heavy senior class. 1, 2, 3. I believe 3 seniors, all of them starters, and then a lot of freshmen on this roster. 2-2 pitch, grounded right back towards LaMontagne. Gloves it with the backhand. Throw over to Forsyth in time. And Ortega-Alves retired. LaMontagne does Forsyth, second out of the inning. Well, after a shaky first inning, pair walks and a single and a run scored, LaMontagne is settled in here. Only giving up 1 base runner through the last 3 innings. First pitch to Alexis Foster is taken for ball 1. Again, LaMontagne went 5 innings yesterday in game 1, picked up the victory. 1-0 pitch. Over the second baseman's head, Broughton, and it'll roll all the way to the fence as it splits the outfielders. Foster digging for 2, and she will have a stand-up 2-out double. Alexis Foster lines that one to the right center gap and rolls all the way to the fence. That's where you want to hit it today with this wind. Right center, that ball is going to carry and drift, making tough plays for the outfield. But that one definitely was earned. That was on a line over the top of Broughton at second base and just hit hard enough to roll all the way to the wall. Delaney Barrett, the pitcher for Dakota State, will bat. Be the first at bat of the game for Barrett. Swing and a miss on that one, foul ball. Foster will have to retreat to second. Again, Barrett started the game in the circle, lasted just 3 batters before she was replaced by Jada Brown. So Brown took the first at bat in this number 7 position in the lineup. But now Barrett re-entered last inning in the circle, and she'll bat here. Fouls this one away off the padding near the Dakota State dugout. One, 2 the count to Barrett. LaMontagne kicks and delivers. That one is low, ball 2. Vikings leading 7-1. They'll have their 2, 3, 4 hitters due up next inning. Count is 1 ball, 2 strikes. This one is fouled away. Just want to clear it and start over. 1, 2. Should be 1, 2. Yep. So you can clear it and start over. Yep. LaMontagne gets the pitch signal from the dugout and delivers the 1-2. Swing and a miss on a pitch in the dirt. No, he got a piece of it, did Barrett. So Delaney Barrett hanging alive. That's 3 2-strike fouls so far in this at-bat. Swing and a miss. That time LaMontagne got her on a pitch just off the plate. Third strikeout of the game. Correction, fourth strikeout of the game. No, third strikeout of the game for LaMontagne, and third out of the inning for Dakota State in the fourth inning. No runs on 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 runner left on. After 3.5, Vikings still lead 7-1. You're watching Viking softball.
Leading off the bottom of the fourth for the Vikings. Number 33, Kennedy Stone.
Bottom of the fourth inning, Valley City State batting with a 7-1 lead. Kennedy Stone, number 2 hitter for the Vikings, steps in as she will face Delaney Barrett. First pitch from Stone, taken for a called strike on the outside corner. First pitch to Stone. Stone is 1 for 1 in this game. Stole a home run in the first inning, then walked and later scored in the second inning. This pitch is taken outside. 1-1 the count. One pitch from Barrett on the outside corner again. Barrett working that outside part of the plate. Sierra Crocker waiting on deck. So 1-2 off the end of the bat, and Nubber down the first base line trying to spin fair. Phillip grabbed it right before it was spinning back fair. That would have been close. If she had let it spin fair, Stone may have passed her by the time she could tag her. 1-2, I think it was. Oh, go edit. Ground ball towards the shortstop, tips off the glove of Sims, and Stone will beat that to first. I believe that will be another infield single for Kennedy Stone. Hard one hopper towards the hole. Sims had to try a backhand play. Wind wreaking some havoc down there. Papers going flying from the Dakota State dugout. The coaches. The way the wind is today, the Viking dugout is sheltered, like the back of the dugout is against the wind. Dakota State, well, they are unfortunately facing right into the wind with their dugout. So short break here as they get a chance to regroup and run down those papers that flew away. So Stone at first base with a leadoff infield single. Hard one hopper to the backhand of the shortstop. Sierra Crocker will bat. Takes first pitch, throw down. Stone gets back in time. 1-0 the count. 1 ball. pitch called strike at the knee is 1-1. Vikings leading 7-1. Crocker lifts this one in the air towards deep center field. Going back as a center fielder reaches up. It's over the fence. Home run, Sierra Crocker. Just enough on that one. Sierra Crocker got it over the outstretched glove of McFarland. And a 2-run shot by Sierra Crocker has given the Vikings a 9-1 lead. That puts this game in mercy rule territory, as the Vikings now lead by 8 runs. Even if they don't score any more this inning, they'll have a chance to finish this game in the top half of the 5th if they could hold Dakota State scoreless. But with nobody out, Vikings looking for more runs here in the 4th inning. 3rd home run of the game for VCSU. Deemert, Kennedy Stone, and now Sierra Crocker, the 1-2-3 hitters, all with home runs for VCSU. Sage Forsyth takes a called strike at the belt. And count now 0-1. Pitch is outside, ball 1. Forsyth, big swing and a miss on that pitch on the outside half of the plate, and it's 1-2. Forsyth drew a walk in her first at bat, was stranded at 3rd in the 1st inning. Singled in the 2nd inning, and then was in a double play on the base paths. Yep. 2-2 the count now to Sage Forsyth. Swing and a miss. And Forsyth retired on strikes. First out of the inning. Logan Gronberg bats for VCSU. Hit by a pitch in the 1st inning. And then was lined off in a double play. And retired on a ground out to shortstop in the 2nd inning. Hit into a double play in that 2nd inning. Takes the first pitch for a called strike. Now 0-1 the count to Gronberg. Again, Gronberg, 5 hits and 6 at-bats yesterday. Hit a home run. Takes that one outside. Ball 1. This weekend, the official home opener for Viking softball. Played a 4-game home series last weekend against Viterbo, but they played that one over in Jamestown and inside the Nelson family bubble. So these are the first games for them in Valley City this season and on their home field. They've delivered so far. Wins yesterday by scores of 6-1 and 5-3. And now leading 9-1 in Game 3 of the series. Gronberg lines this one out towards right field. It'll drop in front of Foster. And it's a 1-out single for Logan Gronberg. I believe we'll have a pinch runner here for Valley City State. Number 17 for the Vikings, Lauren O'Laughlin. Freshman from Gillette, Wyoming, entering the game to run for Logan Gronberg. Mackenzie Stone will bat for VCSU. Stone is 2 for 2 today, pair of singles. RBI single in the 1st inning, and another single in the 2nd inning. Vikings leading 9-1, bottom of the 4th inning. Stone swinging a miss. Pitch on the outside half. Mackenzie Stone takes that pitch high for ball 1. Stone now 4 for 8 in this series. Went 2 for 6 yesterday, 2 for 2 today. Pitch outside, ball 2. Delaney Barrett gets the sign and delivers the 2-1. Ground ball, left side, foul. Senior day for VCSU softball. After the conclusion of the doubleheader, we'll have a short senior day ceremony recognizing LaMontagne, Crocker, and Forseth. And some key members of Viking softball success the last few years. Mackenzie Stone takes that one outside, and count is now full. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Swing and a miss. Mackenzie Stone retired. Second strikeout of the inning for Barrett. Marin Dartnell will step in for VCSU. Freshman from Edmonton, Alberta. Been playing right field for the Vikings. She bats with Lauren O'Laughlin at first base and 2 outs. Called strike to Dartnell. 2 runs in already this inning. A 2-run home run by Sierra Crocker has given the Vikings a 9-1 lead. That pitch high. O'Laughlin over at first base was a pinch runner for Logan Gronberg, who reached with a 1-out single. 1-1 pitch is inside, ball 2. Dartnell today 0 for 2, struck out in the first inning and flied out line out to center field in the second inning. Awaits the 2-1 from Barrett. Line drive, fair ball down the third base line. O'Laughlin rounding second, heading for third, and she will stand up there safely. It's a 2-out double for Marin Dartnell, and the Vikings have a pair of runners in scoring position. Well, Dartnell laced that one right down the third base line, just snuck it fair. I believe it even hit the chalk past the third base. So a 2-out double, first hit of the game for Dartnell. And now O'Loughlin's at third, Dartnell at second for Alyssa DePorter. DePorter 0 for 2 today, lined out to the shortstop and grounded out to third. Fouls that one straight back, a big healthy cut. Vikings leading 9-1, bottom of the 4th inning. We'll have a chance to finish it in the top of the 5th. DePorter lifts this one high in the air towards right center. The wind is going to push it. How far is it going to go? Right fielder makes the catch out near the fence. Foster coming over from right field. That ball kept drifting back towards her in the fence. Went to her knees, kind of collided with the fence, but she hung on and makes the grab. Nice play in right field by Foster to retire DePorter on a deep fly ball to the gap. The Vikings are out in the 4th. They do score 2 runs on 4 hits. There were no Trojan errors and 2 runners left on base. As we head to the 5th, the Vikings lead 9-1. Chance to finish it in the top half of the 5th coming up next. Top of the 5th inning, Vikings 3 outs away from a mercy rule victory in Game 1 of today's doubleheader. Standing in the way, Dakota State looking to extend this game. It'll be Jordan Jeffries, Allie Morrissey, and Hannah McFarland. The scheduled hitters 8-9-1 due up this inning for Dakota State, as they need at least one more run to continue this game. Vikings leading by 8 runs, top of the 5th. Joelle LaMontagne, the Vikings senior pitcher, out for her 5th inning of work. First pitch is in the dirt to Jeffries. First at bat of the game for Jeffries, did not start, but came on for Hannah Fazier, who was injured in the field in the 2nd inning. Lifts this one foul, drifting out of play. Wind will blow it out of play over the Dakota State dugout. Forsyth gave chase, but ran out of room. One pitch on the way. Called strike. And it's 1-2. LaMontagne has allowed just 2 base runners over the last 3 innings, as she has settled in here in game 1. 1-2 pitch. Fouled back. Just getting a piece of it is Jeffries, as she stays alive. Swing and a miss, and Jeffries is down on strikes to lead off the 5th inning. Fourth strikeout of the game for LaMontagne. And as Allie Morrissey, the left fielder, steps in, she grounded out to third base in her first at bat in the 3rd inning. Waiting on deck, top of the order, Hannah McFarland. One out in the top half of the 5th. Lifted foul over the Viking dugout. Again, Vikings leading by 8 runs. Mercy rule in effect if they can hold Dakota State scoreless this half inning. A 1 pitch. Grounded foul as it trickles down the third base line. DePorter will come in and touch it. And now LaMontagne ahead in the count, 0-2 against Morrissey. Oh, 2 pitch from Joelle LaMontagne. Outside, Morrissey takes it for a ball, 1-2. Gonna have game 2 of our doubleheader, also here on VCSU Athletics YouTube. Probably about a 20 to 25 minute break between games. 1-2 pitch, grounded foul behind home plate. LaMontagne looking for her 2nd win of the series. Picked up a win in game 1 yesterday, a 6-1 Viking victory. Ground ball, 2-hopper to Diemert at shortstop. Quick throw over to Forsyth. And Morrissey is retired, 6-3 on the putout. So Vikings 1 out away from winning game 1. Hannah McFarland, top of the order, will step in. This one is laced towards third base off the glove of a diving Alyssa DePorter, and it'll be a 2-out single for Hannah McFarland. Just a hard oppo shot there by the lefty McFarland. Diving attempt by DePorter. But it will be a 2-out single for McFarland. Mackenzie Sims, shortstop, steps in. Sims, 0 for 1 today, walked and scored in her first at bat, and then struck out swinging in the 3rd inning. First pitch from LaMontagne, lifted in the air. Will that one stay in play? Forsyth giving chase, measuring it, and it will drop. I think Forsyth overran that one towards the line, thinking the wind would push it more. Then she turned around and found it, and it dropped between her and Ellie Broughton. So 0-1 the count to Sims. Trying to extend this game for Dakota State. Outside, throw down to first. Diving back safely is McFarland. 1-1 the count to Mackenzie Sims. LaMontagne delivers. Lifted in the air towards right, having it measured as Dartnell. She'll come in a step and makes the play. And Sims is retired on a fly out to right field. And the Vikings take game 1 today. Final score of 9-1, a 5-inning victory for Valley City State as they defeat Dakota State. We'll take a short break, come back with your final numbers on this one. Again, Vikings win 9-1. You're watching Viking softball. Valley City State takes game 1 against Dakota State today, 9-1. First half of our doubleheader here at the VCSU softball complex. Vikings scored 3 runs in the first inning, 4 runs in the second, and 2 runs in the fourth inning. Dakota State put up their lone run in the top half of the first as VCSU wins this one 9-1. Vikings with their 9 runs on 12 hits. They did not commit an error. Dakota State had 1 run on 4 hits, and the Trojans committed 3 errors during that 4-run second inning for VCSU. Valley City State now 19-15 overall, and they are 11-3 in conference play, running their winning streak to 11 games. Dakota State drops to 5-19 overall. They are 2-9 in conference play. Final numbers from this one. Picking up the win for VCSU is Joelle LaMontagne. She went 5 innings, gave up just 1 run, scattered 4 hits, walked 2, and struck out 4. Joelle LaMontagne picks up the victory. Dakota State taking the loss is Delaney Barrett. She started the game, gave up 2 solo home runs, was lifted for a couple innings, and then came in and finished it. She allows 5 total runs, 7 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 3 home runs. Jada Brown pitched 2 innings, gave up 4 runs, none of which were earned, and she gave up 5 hits. Again, Vikings win this one by a final score of 9-1. Big offensive day for VCSU. Let's see, Sierra Crocker, 3 for 3, 3 runs, 2 RBI. She had a double and a home run. Kennedy Stone, 2 for 2 with 3 runs. She had a home run and an RBI. And Ashlyn Diemert, 1 for 3, scored 2 runs and also had a home run. Also 2 hits for Mackenzie Stone and 2 RBIs. Single hits by Ellie Broughton, Marin Dartnell, Logan Gronberg, and Sage Forsyth. Dakota State, Hannah McFarland was 2 for 3, and also hits for Evdos and Foster. Again, your final score in Game 1, 9-1. We'll take a short break, come back with Game 2 of our doubleheader here on VCSU Athletics YouTube, also on the radio on Q101, KQDJ FM. Viking softball up next again. Thank you for watching.